The Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Bros. Wonder is much bigger than I expected. So we gotta talk about Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the Switch 2 edition, because it's absolutely insane, and I think a lot of what was shown off went over a lot of people's head, because there is so much here that I have not seen enough people talking about. Like, just to get right into it, Rosalina is a playable character now, and the Koopalings are back. The Koopalings! What the heck are they doing here? I did not expect to see them at all. I thought they were completely done with the Koopalings. They weren't in Mario Kart World, they weren't heavily marketed in really any other game, so just the fact that the Koopalings are here in the first place is absolutely insane to me. But let's start talking about what this means in general and what we can expect from this. First of all, this was inevitable, right? Can everyone just agree that this was inevitable? I think this is the one Nintendo Switch 2 edition that I'm surprised we haven't got sooner, and the fact that it's coming out so late is a completely other discussion, but yes, this is pretty obvious that we're getting this game here. So pretty much what they showed off mostly is the new multiplayer mode. There seems to be like this quick mini game rush that you can play with multiple people. They didn't say anything about some new single player games. Well, they didn't say much about it. They kind of teased it, but I mean, the main thing here is the new multiplayer mode that's you can play with other people. You pretty much play a bunch of mini games, and the person who wins the mini games wins, and that's about it. So it opens off on this new park called the Bella Bell Park, and it seems that you can just go to a bunch of these versus matches and really play whatever one you want. And some of them they're really easy. You got to collect the most coins to win in one of them. There's one of them where you have to fight everyone and try to kill them as many times as possible, and then after you kill them, they respawn. There's like hide and seek or tag. Like, it is very in-depth and kind of crazy. A lot of these mini games seem like a lot of fun. Like, I'm really excited to play these. There also seems to be some use of the mouse mode, which again, I didn't really see before. You can see these cursors kind of painting the like platforms, and there also seem to be some more co-op games that you can play together, not just versing each other, but where you're working on a team. There was also King Boo. I saw King Boo here as well. Now, mini games are good and fun, and again, I'm really excited that we get some more co-op multiplayer action coming from this. But the big thing to me was the fact, again, we saw the Koopalings, and on top of that, we also saw Captain Toad. I don't think Captain Toad was in the first game, right? I don't think he was, or in the Switch 1 edition of this game. I think Captain Toad being in the Switch 2 edition is brand new, and we haven't seen that yet. So I think, to me, this is a brand new story mode. Now, I'm not sure how big this story mode is going to be, because they really don't show that much, but I think this is everything we needed. You can see that instead of collecting Wonder Flowers, we're now collecting Bella Bell flowers, and there's like a scene where you're talking to those new Toads, and then even Captain Toad is there. So I think the Koopalings and Captain Toad have a much bigger role to play in this game. We're probably going to see Bowser Jr. here as well. And as we also saw teased in one of the menus for a co-op game, Rosalina is actually playable, which makes sense. I'm sure she's going to be a big part of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and of course the Mario Galaxy games that they're re-releasing. Mario Galaxy is getting a huge push in this generation, it seems. And just with the movie hype and everything else, yes, of course they're going to add Rosalina as a playable character. Maybe they'll even add more characters as playable characters. I think it would be so fun to see some enemies as playable characters. Oh, I know. That would be crazy. Or imagine like Donkey Kong. I highly doubt it, because he seems probably a little bit too big, but one can dream. This is like the one 2D Mario game that just had so many amazing playable characters. But not only, I think, are we going to see some new levels like we obviously are going to see, but also a resolution bump, maybe a frame rate bump. Nintendo doesn't very often put their games in 120 frames per second, but I think this could get 1080p 120 frames per second, or 4K 60 frames per second. Definitely 4K 60 frames per second. But I just can't believe how much a lot of people missed in this trailer, like the Koopalings. I know I've talked about the Koopalings a lot, but that is a huge deal. Now, without a doubt, this is going to be $80 if you want to rebuy the full brand new full game, without a question in my mind. And you know what? This is such massive DLC that I wouldn't be surprised if they charged maybe $10 for the Switch 2 edition and then an additional $20 for the expansion. I really hope that's not the case. Again, it's Nintendo, so I wouldn't put it past them, but I think they have to understand that $20 is more than enough for the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of this game. And there's more in this Nintendo Switch 2 edition of this game than any other Nintendo Switch 2 edition that I can think of. So many new modes, characters, levels, like this has to be it. One mode I am very hopeful for is playing this game online. Like I definitely think the Switch 2 should be able to play this game online. It'd be a great way for them to sell game chat and a Nintendo Switch Online subscription. And also, it wasn't in the first game, which was very annoying. I really wanted to play this game with my brother a lot, and I did. I beat the whole game with him, but we had to coordinate beating together and figuring out a time that we can actually play the game together to actually, you know, play the game, which is fine. I'm happy. I prefer playing games together, but I mean, it'd be so much better if they could just do an online version of this game. And I feel like it was so easy. They did it in Mario Maker 2, so I don't know why they wouldn't be able to do it in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, especially the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, which should be able to connect to other Switches easier, I would think. Now, the Mario Maker 2 did it very poorly, and the game was very bad online, and every other Nintendo Switch 2 edition that I played, like Mario Party Jamboree, had really bad online support, or I guess connection. Like Mario Party Jamboree, the game hitched so much when I played it with other people online. It was honestly unplayable. Using the mouse mode was horrific. I also finally, for the first time, actually, I played Smash Bros online, and it was so bad. How is it even possible to play that game online? Anyways, one more thing that I want to talk about with this version of the game is the fact it's coming out not now. I was set on this game releasing as a shadow drop after the Nintendo Direct announced it. And I guess in hindsight, I should have known, yeah, they're going to want to release a physical version of this game along with the Switch 2 edition. Like, they're obviously going to want to just put it all out. But even then, I'm surprised it's not coming out even a little bit sooner. I think most likely this game will release on April 2nd, because that's the day that the Amiibo, the Mario Galaxy Amiibo, are releasing. And they don't usually release Amiibo separately. That's not beside a game, so I can't imagine this wouldn't come out on that day. I also think Yoshi could come out that day because it's also spring 2026, and again, the Amiibo are coming out. It's also the day right before the Mario movie comes out, the new Mario Galaxy movie, so pushing out this game alongside with the Amiibo right before the brand new Super Mario Galaxy movie comes out would be the ultimate marketing strategy, and I think is the most likely chance of this release. I'm surprised they didn't give us a release date for it, because that just seems so obvious, but maybe they got a couple of quirks that they need to figure out on their end, and they're just plainly saying, yeah, spring 2026. Everything's coming out in spring 2026. So let me know if you noticed the Koopalings and Captain Toad, because I don't think many people are talking about this, because I think a lot of people just missed it. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel if you're new. This is my second channel where I just kind of ramble about Nintendo Switch 2 news and things that I just don't think would do as well on my main channel. So this gives me an outlet to talk about everything, and I absolutely love talking about it. It's so much fun, and I hope that the more hardcore Nintendo audience would like it, or you, really anyone. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. See you later.